contributing to making the video pretty much visible to those who couldn't join us live. They share it too. That one you can direct where you want people to kind of sit and join us. Afterwards, sit back, relax, and let us have a chat. It's been about 4 days now, brethren, that the opposition announced a political party that will be their potential platform for the coalitionists in hosting Tifnumbu in 2027. We have been seeing reactions since then. And when I say reactions, it is not just one, or from one side, one camp, including the camps participating in their coalition. But out of all these reactions, one man's reaction stands out. His name is Unyeson Wike. Wike has been going from place to place to tell who care to listen why the coalition is not a threat. And he has used occasions like projects commissioning, flag off. It's called the media chat. He has taken himself to the studio of Channels Television. The last place I didn't expect, which is not like a surprise, is the church. After Wike spent 17 days to commission what he called 17 projects of Tifnumbu in Abuja, like 2-kilometer road constructed for over 10 billion naira, 11-kilometer road rehabilitated with over 20 billion naira, borehole renovated with over 30 billion naira, town hall different from Bala Blue renovated with 39 billion naira, right? So he's been using these occasions to tell everyone not only about how Nigerians love Tifnumbu and how Abuja people really, really love Tifnumbu. He has now taken up the role of Tifnumbu's second-term campaign DG unofficially. Wike has been having meltdown than even Tifnumbu himself, because Tifnumbu has not really uttered anything. Other, mega, debating this guy called them mega dogs of Tifnumbu, their reactions cannot be compared to that of Wike. So today, they said Wike has now rounded up his jamboree, in which he chose to go and do a thanksgiving in the church. The church. It was supposed to possibly just say, thank God, we have done our jamboree, all of that. But before Wike even utter a word, there is a supposed clergy, should I use alleged clergy, in the same church, already speaking glowingly of Wike, how Abuja has become so blessed with Wike in charge. In fact, there is a special prayer that should go to Tifnumbu for choosing Wike as a minister. Then it was the turn of Wike. The moment he mounted the podium, it was the time to talk about the coalition again and 2027 in what is now looking like, an obsession. There are many other reactions, though, but I put these two together first from Wike's Thanksgiving today.
Cannot turn your blessing to sadness. God has decided to remember you. Like Mephibosheth in our story, God situation to a song of joy. And this time, in our FCT, our crippled situation has been turned to a song of joy. President of Nigeria went to village, went to rural area to go and commission project. Have you seen it before in FCT? It happened this year. In the name of God be glorified. Man, I just stay in my house and watch TV and see what is happening. And I just say, can this be true? Can this be true? It is true. Because God's servant is dead. When God's servant is dead, all things are possible. Bible says, I can do all. How many things? How many things? Is it all? Awesome. A few. How many? All things. We are always praying for the minister. Say, God, give him strength, give him focus, give him direction, give him boldness, give him enablement. This is not a joke. You have been coming to the church, you will know that this is a regular practice here.
These are the same people that want to rescue Nigerians. You are Minister for Interior here. To go and get a international passport, you will spend weeks and months and years before you get international passport. But look at a young boy. Look at a young boy. See what he has done. Within hours, you got your international passport. And yet, you come and tell us Nigerians are angry. Nigerians are angry with you for not making it possible for us to have an international airport international passport as quickly as possible. Nigerians are angry with you. Nigerians are what? Angry with you. How can Nigerians not be angry with you? Today, in 1999, you are in this party. In 2006, you are another party. In 2014, you moved to another party. In 2019, you came back to another party. That 2025, you are moving to another party to rescue who? You want to rescue your stomach. It's not Nigeria you want to rescue. So let's tell ourselves the simple truth. Some of you have sympathy for somebody you don't know. I'll say it. And that's where he nearly made us to make a mistake. He said, Peter, you will be president. President where? Some of you don't know somebody just out of emotion. For 8 years, he was governor. He never conducted local government election. Never. That time Nigerians were not angry. Nigerians were happy that he refused to conduct local government election. 8 good years. You were governor. That one was democracy. That's why you define it to be democracy. Only you, governor of all the local government. And none of you ask questions. Now they will come out and begin to talk. Democracy is not working. But you worked under your own, staying alone. To be chairman of local government, to be governor, only one man. The time has passed, they won't have the opportunity again. You say you form coalition for 18 months, which means the president was in office for 6 months. It's time for they cannot stay out of power. Unfortunately, they have stayed out. They will come back. They will not come back. If Tinubu's government will not work, I will not support.
Nuisance lele.
To start with, right? Watch out to very soon. They are going to accuse your coalition, Abi Peter Obi, of going to church to go and campaign. They will say he's the one using religion in your politics or in your elections. Remember the last time? They were the ones who went to go and hire fake fake bishops in order to say Christians have adopted shitty man and Muslim tickets. Remember that time? But till today, the man that went inside church and told everybody that don't vote for me because I'm a Igbo, don't vote for me because I'm a Christian, vote for me because of so and so. Nigerians, take your country back. Then he said, the church, take your country back. Yes. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? He said, the church, take your country back. He's using religion. He's using religion. So very soon they are going to do the same. When Wike went for Thanksgiving, he didn't talk about what he is doing in Abuja much. He spent minutes, like about 15 minutes, talking about the coalition, David Mark, Amechi, and then, of course, Peter Obi. Now, you see how politicians are so dishonest, even in the house of God. You've heard that story of Peter Obi not conducting local government elections in Anambra State for 7 years. You've heard that many times, right? But how many of you have actually tried to find out the truth about that story? Well, don't worry, I'll help you. And you can read more about it. When Peter Obi became their governor in Anambra State was more or less like a war zone where critical government infrastructures are not only dilapidated and like in a war state, some of them just recently burnt. In fact, some of the stuff Ngigi was building on that time, which kind of vexed the Uba brothers, that they kidnapped him, right? And then the court declared Obi winner instead. I don't know how many of you remember that their government house was partly burnt, their state broadcasting station or something was also partly burnt, and so were other properties. That was the state of Anambra State. And when he became their governor, the first set, because it was supposed to be PDP state, the first people that took him to court was when they dissolved local government administration. They took him to court. PDP took him to court for 7 years. The local government election cannot be conducted except the ones who were like picked by these Uba brothers with Ngige must be returned back to office. And this was why they couldn't conduct election in Anambra State for 7 years. But they make it look like, as a governor himself, right, like many of them were doing, he had no power to conduct an election, or he chose not to, rather. Anyway, it doesn't matter. At this point, there will be more. Wike went to the church for Thanksgiving. And then he had this meltdown there. I don't know what it's like. I mean, I can say people like him have a lot to lose in the scheme of things. Like, when two criminal gang fight, there must be a winner, at least a declared winner. They may end up having to share the loot, but there must be what they are actually fighting for is control. Who is going to be in control of this largesse? So eventually, one is going to kind of like crush the other, and then they are going to reunite in their way and then, move on. But there are those that will likely be the highlight of if Tinubu lose power. One of them is Wike. A man so obsessed with power that he brags on national television of how rich he is without any reference to any meaningful or, source of income. He spent 39 billion naira to renovate a hall. He said they removed everything, but this hall was still being used even during their own 2023 campaign. APC, Ebekebe, organized program in that same hall that where Wike came and said the person in charge was only delivering 50 million. There's no evidence, there's no record, there's nothing, just word of mouth. But now that he spent 39 billion, they have made 750 million naira from that hall, ICC hall, Abuja, in 3 weeks. When we did the calculation, it simply means since Wike completed the or renovated the place, they have been using it every day. And if they have made 700 million in 3 weeks, that is a 33 million naira every day. Obi wait there Abuja, how much did they rent ICC? But this smart man actually had a cafe named after himself. As much as he changed the name of a national, property to Tifnumbu's name, just to keep, in the good book. Change the name to Tifnumbu's name. Inside there, it's not the only place. So there are other adjoining buildings that they claim to have renovated, right? Now, they now name all those properties after themselves. When you go to the ICC, you are going to possibly stop by at Wike's Cafe, upstairs, sociopath. So when you see that Wike is having a meltdown, despite the fact that his own political party, PDP, they are supposed to be opposition. They are supposed to be preparing for 2027. But he has vowed to make sure that the PDP crisis will never end. If there is going to be end to the PDP crisis, it will be after Tifnumbu is done. That is his own insurance. Right now that they are planning to leave PDP for him. So his concentration now is no longer about PDP. If you have noticed, it no longer talks about PDP. It talks about this coalition. Because let's not just pretend they are a real threat. As much as they will publicly admit and say, no, they are not threat. These ones that will soon fight, fine. But you can say that to make yourself feel better. Wike is a good example that, listen, guys, don't trust these guys. We know we are thieves, but these guys are also thieves. They are just sad that they are not the ones stealing right now. Don't trust them. Just leave us. Leave us. We are going to make sure that no matter how much we steal, we will share something to make you okay. He's not disputing the fact that they are criminals themselves. Tifnumbu inherited a crashed economy. But from that crashed economy, he got himself a yacht. He got himself a new private jet, presidential jet. I want to go back to that, listen to that thing, and I'm going to sound almost similar. But I will still do it anyway, just for the record. So Tifnumbu got himself a new aircraft called presidential jet. He increased the ESTA code, the money they give to people who travels with him or travel in the name of Nigeria. In 2024 alone, this guy spent 980, nearly 1 trillion naira. Guess what they used the money for? To buy dollars. Listen to me. That 980 billion is not to be exchanged for dollar. This is called the charges. God knows how many hundreds of millions of dollars that they have managed to corner for themselves from a broke country, a bankrupt country. So they continue to repeat that, and they will say, we have given you a student loan after taking education subsidy. Education subsidy makes it easier for people, right? Especially civil servants and, average income earners to send their children to unity schools as well as federal schools like polytechnic universities and all that stuff, colleges, because it's been so subsidized enough that the government was supposed, when they write their budget, they have a certain allocation that was supposed to be going straight to this education department or these schools and all that for them to be running the affairs of the school. The successive government of Nigeria have failed in that respect. Tinubu came